you can get away without missing out. Whether you're traveling across Idaho or just spending more time outside, the Connector keeps you up to date with the local stories that matter, from wildfire season to community news. Stay connected to Idaho with the Connector, Idaho Daily News. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Samantha Wright, filling in for Gemma Gaudette. It's Idaho Matters. Imagine a gigantic blast coming out of Yellowstone National Park, an explosion that's 10,000 times bigger than all the world's nuclear bombs. Everything as far away as Idaho Falls is instantly vaporized. Firestorms from the blast and debris raining down obliterate entire cities like Boise. Anyone who survived the blast would quickly starve to death as ash, dust, and sulfur would block out the sun and kill all the plants. More than 70% of all species on Earth would die. That really happened 66 million years ago when the Chicxulub asteroid smashed into Mexico, causing a worldwide extinction. And it wasn't a one-off. Thousands of near-Earth asteroids, or NEOs, threaten our planet. And we really don't have an organized way to stop another worldwide catastrophe. The Planetary Society is trying to change that. They're trying to defend Earth from these killer asteroids, along with advocating for more space exploration. Jack Corelli, Chief of Advocacy with the Planetary Society, is coming to Boise next Friday for Boise State's First Friday Astronomy program, which is celebrating 10 years of bringing astrophysicists and other scientists to Boise. Jack is here with us now. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Samantha. It's great to be here.
Okay, tell us about the Planetary Society. What is it? What do you do?
Well, the Planetary Society, simply it's an organization founded 46 years ago by the late great astronomer Dr. Carl Sagan to inspire a global community to advance the scientific exploration of space. And in those 46 years, we've grown to more than 2 million people around the world who are involved in our efforts as dues-paying members, as supporters, as people that sign petitions, and those that we fund through things like our Shoemaker Near-Earth Object Grant program, the many astronomers who are involved with that. Now, I'm not on the hardware or science side of things. I'm the policy guy for the organization, so based in Washington, D.C., to connect with legislators and policymakers about why these issues of planetary defense, of space exploration and science, the search for life beyond Earth, why those matter to so many people around the globe, and why they matter economically, technologically, and culturally for us here in the United States, who has led the world in space exploration for the past 60 years.
So let's talk about why it matters to defend Earth from some of those asteroids and comets like I was talking about in the introduction. Why is it so important to work together to try and find these near-Earth objects and to avoid them?
Well, despite our best efforts, we are still on one planet. And regardless of our geopolitical boundaries, we are in a cosmic shooting gallery. You mentioned the Chicxulub impact. Every few million years, an asteroid of that size comes careening through the inner solar system, and sometimes crosses paths just so unfortunately with our pale blue dot. And so, it's a global effort to defend the world from these, potentially hazardous near-Earth objects. It's something that really transcends, again, geopolitical boundaries, social boundaries, and is something that everyone, I think, has a stake in. The dinosaurs didn't have a space program, or at least they didn't have a very good one, a well-funded space program. And so we don't want to go the way of our ancient brethren, the terrible lizards. So, this is something that has been on people's minds. I think we all remember either watching Deep Impact or all the sort of doomsday movies centered around an asteroid or comet. I think maybe most recently Don't Look Up uses, of course, an asteroid or a comet as the backdrop for other messaging, but it's still the imagery is still there. And we have this opportunity in just a few years for one of these large, what you would call a planet killer asteroids passing close by Earth, no risk of it impacting. But we have these opportunities, and the United Nations, for example, has designated 2029 as the International Year of Planetary Defense for that reason, that it doesn't matter what country you hail from. I think everyone wants to dodge the next asteroid coming our way, or should it be coming our way, have the means to deflect it.
Well, and I think you're talking about, help me out, Apophos. Oh, geez.
Apophis, yes.
Apophis. I can't
99924 Apophis. I will say maybe it was either my first or my second existential crisis as a child was the discovery of this asteroid back in 2004.
And you said it's coming in 2029. Now it's supposed to pass close to Earth, maybe as close as between our planet and the satellites around it. And I think, like you said, some people know about it, have heard about it, have been watching it. But there are a lot of NEOs out there, these near-Earth objects. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Planetary Society wants to get basically the world together to track them down and to find a way to fight against them.
Absolutely. It's one of our core missions as an organization and has been for a long time. And now, thankfully, we have a lot of friends in Congress who, they can't agree on much these days, but they can certainly agree that we want to know where these things are. And now scientists and astronomers have been able to deduce the location of most of your big planet killers, and there's no immediate risk for those major ones. Like I said, Apophis, there's no risk of that impacting in 2029. But it's the smaller ones, the ones that are, not a kilometer across, somewhere around 140, 150 meters across or larger, that we only know where about 43% of those are in near-Earth space, let alone in the rest of the solar system. But we're looking at ones that cross the orbit of Earth, right, are the ones that we designate as potentially hazardous near-Earth objects. And now there are, there's tons of, particles and planet, asteroidesmals, small asteroids that enter the Earth's atmosphere every day. If you looked up, 2 weeks ago, and saw the Perseid meteor shower, that is a prime example of the type of thing that happens on a daily basis all across the globe. The problem is that anything larger than 140 meters, roughly, can pierce through our protective atmosphere that burns up the smaller ones, and could cause regional or nationwide devastation. And there's very little that we know about them. Instead, not just where they are, but also what they're made of. And are they solid bodies? Are they rubble piles, right? It's the difference between buckshot and slug, right? We're talking about there's these different characteristics of these satellite or these asteroids that could determine what the type of impact would be. And we at the Planetary Society, and I think a lot of folks around the country, around the world, think that we should know where these things are, and then eventually develop the capability to deflect them, depending on their characteristics. Different deflection methods work better than others. So not all of them are going to require us to send Bruce Willis up there with a nuclear device. Some of them can be nudged with a high energy laser. Can just shave off just enough of their mass that if we catch them early enough, it changes their orbital trajectory enough that they miss Earth. Some of them might be small enough that a large enough space vehicle could actually nudge them with the gravity of the vehicle over a long period of time. And then others that maybe we require a more drastic measure will have to result with a kinetic impactor or just hitting it with something really big and fast.
Well, we're just scratching the surface of what the Planetary Society does. So I'm curious what you're going to talk about next Friday. That would be September 4th at First Friday Astronomy.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to joining y'all in Boise. It's going to be a good way to kick off, I think, Labor Day weekend as well as hopefully cooling temperatures across the United States. But my talk's going to be really down to earth. Literally. I'm going to be talking about the role that public policy plays in determining the future of the space program. And so whether you care about planetary defense, as we've talked about on this program, or you care about the search for life, understanding whether we are alone in the universe or not, which is, I think, a fundamental question that a lot of people ask, or you're just interested in the missions that NASA has coming up, Artemis, Dragonfly, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, all of that is all that relies on sound public policy and, of course, financially stable and responsible budgeting by the federal government. These are activities that involve a lot of commercial and international partners, but require something like the U.S. federal government to muster all of those activities to result in things like the Near-Earth Object Surveyor mission, which is going to be launching in just the next couple of years to look for these potentially hazardous objects. And ultimately, this is the public's space program. The Planetary Society was founded with the idea that the public should have a meaningful role in determining those priorities and the focus being on science. And so we want you to be involved, whether it's writing a letter, signing a petition, just being aware of the issues that we're dealing with here in Washington as it relates to space policy. So come on down. First Friday, next Friday, the 4th of September, and hear about how you, yes, you, can become a space advocate.
I love it. I love it. Jack, thanks a lot. This has been great.
Thank you, Samantha.
We've been speaking with Jack Corelli, Chief of Advocacy with the Planetary Society, about next Friday's First Friday Astronomy at Boise State, which, by the way, is celebrating the 10th anniversary of the first Friday program.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Idaho Matters. And for quick news of the day, start your mornings with our podcast. It's called The Connector, Idaho Daily News. Just by listening, you're helping to support public radio right here in Idaho. And I want to say a big thank you for that.